Okay. Alright guys, and welcome to another patch review. This is HoN 4.0, which is a massive patch. So before I get into all these changes, the point of this patch was mainly to revamp the entire armor and magic armor system and provide a lot of buffs for a lot of heroes. So it's a patch of power. It's not a patch of a lot of nerfs. It's basically to remove from the changes that I've read, it's basically to remove heroes that have been at the top of the playlist for so long and to get new heroes into the game, add some freshness, get some old heroes that have been forgotten, and add them into the game. So as you can see here on my screen, I got the patch changes here on the right, I got the Twitch chat here on the left if they have any questions they want me to answer while doing the review, and yeah. But so, before we go into it as well, I do like the graphic changes. People ask me that all the time. I'm not a fan of the overlay. I'm not a fan of the new scoreboard. And yes, but the good thing is you can make everything default except the scoreboard. So I have my in-game completely default like before. Remove the heads on the minimap and blah blah blah. But I think it's good to have that so you can decide yourself what you want. But I personally am not a fan of it in either game because other games have it as well. So yeah. As always, I skip new heroes when a patch comes out, so I will not be commenting on Apex. We'll be doing that in my Let's Play Apex series, but not during the patch reviews. Things that I cannot comment on, I won't, because I can say, oh, Apex looks so OP on the paper, and then it turns out to be shit. Because you can never actually, by facts alone, figure out if a new hero will be good or bad. Well, obviously, if the numbers are absolute shit, then yeah, but anyway, so let's continue. Alright, so first of all, we got a completely new ranking system, more of a league system with bronze, silver, gold, diamond, legendary, and immortal. And no, I do not have a rank yet. I've only played 2 placement games, so you don't have to ask me what rank I have. Every game will now be counterpick, thank God for that, with legendary and immortal players. Will also include bans with counterpick. Also amazing. So from my opinion, besides the ranking system, everything is so much better now. I said already when counterpick was tested, half a year ago, I was like, why would you ever remove this mode? It's so much better than all pick. It just takes a little bit too long to pick, and what they did was they lowered the amount of time it takes to actually get through the pick screen, and they made it all better. So counterpick, amazing, huge thumbs up. Bans in the higher leagues of the game, huge thumbs up. So yep, all about that. Amazing in my opinion. You will be picking 1-2-2-2-1, and yeah, so no, personally, everything regarding the new game mode and everything, huge thumbs up, love it. The rap system has been revamped, no comment, don't really know anything about that. So where is our first balance change? This is only avatars. Alright, here we go. Yeah, so as I was talking about, they wanted to revamp the entire armor and magic armor system. I don't necessarily think that that is a bad thing, but it does end up nerfing some heroes that didn't need to get nerfs, like Armadan, for example, is a very bad hero, and he got nerfs that he technically didn't need. But they wanted to make a complete revamp, and that's why they did this, so they can't, just because Armadan is bad doesn't mean you can avoid nerfing him, because it's a complete revamp, not an individual revamp. So, strength carries will have 3 armor. Other strength heroes will have 4, agility heroes 5, agility support 6, intelligence support 7, and other intelligent heroes 6. This is magic armor adjustments. So yeah. Lol, counterpick is not amazing. Wait until you get blues and pinks AFK and everyone randoms and Orange says they want to carry and everyone above them says fuck you. I haven't seen that yet, so for me it's amazing. And do we really have an AFK problem in HoN? I didn't know that. Anyway, so accursed base intelligence was increased, magic armor decreased, and armor decreased. So Mom, god damn it, I'm recording a video. I'm gonna have to cancel this call. Give me 1 second. I'm highlighting this, by the way, on my Twitch, so I will not be editing this video, so that will still be in there. I'm sorry about that. But I want to get this video up to date, so I don't have time to edit it. But yeah, so this change increases the early intelligence by 5, and then nerfing the armor with the revamp. And I think this is a good change. Like, mana problems has not really been an issue for a curse because you get Blood Chalice, but he gives him a little bit of extra mana in the early game so he can use some more spells. Nothing bad, nothing major. Now, Aluna is a very interesting one. The max number of targets hit is from 1, 2, 3, 4 to 2, 3, 4, 5. And the max stun duration is capped at 3 seconds. So you can no longer do a 5-second stun. And I mean, 5-second stuns was pretty OP when you actually got them in. This makes it easier to get a stun off, but it doesn't make it as strong. Like, you can't just do 8 creeps and then boom, 5-second stun on 3 heroes, you know. So I think this is a fine change. Now, the main thing here is the attack speed penalty per target hit increased, which means that Aluna can now actually carry back in the old days. Back in the old days, you played Aluna in the short lane, you bought Steam Boots, Tablet, Hellflower, Sheep, Savage Maze sometimes because of the amazing attack speed you got from stealing. So this basically makes Aluna from a full-time support, which could play mid, to an actual viable carry / semi-carry, because now you can steal so much attack speed, you can do so much damage in a short amount of time, making items like Savage Maze, Rift Shards, and stuff like that in the late game really good on the hero. So very, very interesting. We'll see how that works out. But did they not... 1 second. Okay, so when I actually read the original HoN 4.0 notes, the max number of targets hit was 8. So it looks like they didn't go through with that buff. Would have been a little bit over the top, so glad to see that. So, the red stun... So, if you do use red stun, do you not do more things right now? Emerald red bones no longer doubles the max number of targets hit. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, they removed that. Okay. Attack speed buff penalty from 8 seconds to 10. Bounce attack speed target increase from 40 to 60. Yeah, so they buffed the attack speed by a huge margin. Yeah, so this is actually really crazy. I'm going to try this out for sure. Deja Vu also got some tiny buffs here, as you can see. And the cool thing here is now grants 100% evasion and move speed when using the red buff with the E. No one ever used red buff with your E before. Like, it was terrible. So this will be an interesting change. See if that actually does anything. Armor revamp. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this. As you guys know, Andromeda is one of the best supports in the game right now. I did not think Andromeda needed a buff, but regardless, she got a little bit more mana, a little bit more HP, base damage as well, and movement speed as well, and then armor as well. So she got quite a bit of early game buffs. This will mostly impact her in the early game, and she really did not need that in my opinion, but it's not game breaking, it won't make her broken, but simply just buff her laning and make her better early. And I guess, like I said, it's a patch that wants to it's a power patch, right? They want to buff a lot of heroes, and they want to make Andrew even better and other supports as well. So overall, what they want to do, it does achieve that, but I do not think Andromeda needed to be one of them. So yeah, the Spider Sting, Staff of the Master, I showed this in my HoN 4.0 Leaks episode 1. This is a really cool change, so I've already commented on this, so we'll not comment on here as well. Armadon, normal 1, G-Shan normal. Okay, so here we go. Artillery, this is a rework. Damage per rocket, as you can see here, has been changed to 10, 15, 20, 15 to 15% of your attack damage instead of 28. No longer deals extra damage as long as you channel, and now has a 6-second cooldown when the channel ends, so you can't like constantly use your Q all the time. Range was slightly increased. Mortar Shot was renamed to Mortar Strike, and the damage has been rescaled, and Mini-Mortals deal 20, 30, 40, 50, and apply movement speed slow as well, and it fires an extra Mini-Mortar for each enemy hero in the target area upon cast, fires up to 5 Mini-Mortars at 0.5 second intervals. I honestly have no idea what exactly to think about this artillery. It looks very interesting, and now your E also has a 20% chance to fire a magic damage missile at enemy to slow their movement speed, and the chance is double if the target stun rest and mortar strike slow. So yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. Not sure at all. But yeah, as for your ultimate, as you can see here, it's now a... Oh my god, this is old artillery. For those of you who were not part of SPT, the original artillery ulti was actually a short range. You use it, and everything in that area gets pushed back. So, like, I get pushed back, enemies get pushed back, and it just like... It was just a giant pushback ability, and it seems like they actually brought that back. And there was a long stun as well, so you could use it to escape and other stuff as well. So yeah, but now it will only push you back, and it won't push back enemies. So that's pretty interesting. So you can use it as an escape tool as well. But yeah, interesting rework, but I don't really know what to comment on it. I mean, artillery's been shit for so long now, it's hard to actually say whether or not it's going to work out. But we'll see. Berserker, guys, base strength reduced, strength gain increased, and magic armor decreased. Debuff duration on E was increased. I did this in my HoN 4.0 leagues as well. And attack speed buff was increased, and then the Staff of the Master effect was removed, and now the ultimate has the staff inside. So you can now always use it while stunned or silenced. You gain 100% slow resistance. Bonus damage was increased, but the incoming damage amplification was increased as well. So the hero will die easier, but it doesn't need a staff anymore to get the ultimate off. So Berserker is actually going to be viable in my opinion. I think this is going to be a really good change. Definitely feel like Berserker will be one of the carries that is now a possible one. I don't think he should be a solo carry, but I feel like a double carry lineup could definitely fit him, where you have a semi-carry plus Berserker, because he deals a lot of damage, man. Only problem is he dies very fast, as I said, but I definitely think we'll see some Berserkers for sure. So yeah, good change, I think. Berserker was not picked, mainly not picked because he had no farming potential. Still doesn't have a lot of farming potential, but now won't be useless without staff, because without staff, your hero just got killed. So I like to change. We'll see if it's too strong or not too strong. Blacksmith, magic armor debuff now starts tapering off 2 seconds after its application, increased from 1 second. So this is really good. Means that you have 1 extra second to use your magic damage burst before the magic armor goes down. From the frenzy, the increase of fireball was reduced, so your fireball isn't as expensive anymore. And then the multicasts have been increased as well, as you can see here, which is really interesting. I wonder how much of an impact this will actually have. Blacksmith isn't a popular hero in Thailand. I don't like the hero because it's RNG based. I don't like RNG. So we'll see if they actually, if you'll actually get some more playtime. As for Blitz, base damage was increased, base strength was increased, just overall buffs to the hero. I am not a fan of Blitz. I think it's an amazing hero to push out an offlane, like a solo offlane, like a Magnus or something. Blitz just shits on them. And I do think the E is a very good ability against certain heroes like Swiftblade and stuff. It completely counters like a Swiftblade long lane because the speed simply just... Oh my god, why is this bot not banning these guys? So yeah, I do think this is a good change. Gives him even better early game. Doesn't provide that small amount of damage, as you can see here. They basically made it like shorter. And then grants unit walking to the affected target. Thank you very much, Real Pyro Muffin, for 9 months. Appreciate that a lot, dude. Thank you very much. Blood Hunter got his magic armor decreased and the cooldown ulti. So this is just a tiny change. This is one of those changes that won't have a major impact, but it's just to tell you that, oh hey, Blood Hunter's in the game. Maybe you want to play him. Try him out. It's just like a life change to remind you that Blood Hunter's in the game. Not going to have that major impact. As for Bomb, he got a major change, man. You can now double activate to cast Stick a Bomb on yourself, so you don't have to aim it anymore. Cast range is 800 at all levels, and damage has been increased from 75 to 400 at max level, and duration until Prime lowered from 8 to 6. No longer increases damage to Stick a Bomb as the Stick a Bomb ticks, and extra stun duration per tick increased from 0.5 to 1 second. So basically, Bomb always does the same damage with the bomb now, hey, but you cannot stun as long as before. And if you activate before the first 2 seconds, it now mini stuns for 0.2 seconds. So you gotta wait 2 seconds more in order to get the full duration of the stun, which is good, I think, considering they increased the damage. So that's a good change, like it a lot. He can now activate while stunned or silenced. Interesting. It no longer has a second charge at level 4 of the skill. Now it's a 12-second cooldown, and the magic damage has been slightly increased, and radius increased, and building damage increased. So this is more of a pushing change. Makes Bombardier more of an early game pusher, because Bomb is very good in lane, always has been. Gets PK, and then lake him, he falls off, but if he farms very well, he'll pick up items like Sheep and Rest of Stone, and still provide impact in the later stages of the game. But this will make him an even better hero in early mid-game. So I do think Bomb is going to be a really strong pick now. I think he's going to be picked as much as a chipper, to be honest, because he will be as good as a chipper after this change, considering his Q now deals full damage straight away. So you can use it at harass. Just throw it out, harass, throw it out, harass, because it's a pretty cheap spell. So I like it. Now, E, reworked, passively causes Bombardier to deal 15, 30, 45, 60 magic damage and 250 radius around enemy unit, and Boom Blast also damage and applies on a single target when Bombardier damages that target in another manner. Can only core 4 times on a single target every 15 seconds. So, like a Gravekeeper E. Basically like a Gravekeeper E, a little bit less damage, but a good ability regardless, and it also applies when you do other damage, like when you use Bomb, it will still apply. So, I like it. I don't think you'll skill more than 1 or 2 points in it. Maybe 1 early game. I don't think you'll skill more. You'll skill 1 early game to use it for last hitting. Like, Bomb's going to get every last hit now. It's basically like a ranged Deadwood last hit-wise, I think. So, going to be really interesting. Ulti is now no longer global. The cooldown has been drastically increased. Sorry, decreased. And you can now use it more often, and then Staff basically makes it global. So Staff will now never, ever, ever, ever be picked up on the Bomb. Not that it was picked up before. Some stupid people did it for some reason, but either way. So yeah, overall, very good changes to Bomb. Definitely feel like he'll be on top tier now, like Chipper and Midas. I think he's going to be picked for sure. Only problem being no escape ability. Like, and usually nowadays you pick a hero with escape or massive amounts of HP, which Bomb doesn't have. Bubbles finally getting some love. Bubbles used to be one of the most picked heroes in the game, and then they gave him quite a bit of nerfs, and now he's going to get some love again. So I do think we'll see more Bubbles people in the mid lane, because the silence is now very long, and it doesn't require you to get 2 points of silence early, so you can actually have some impact with your W. So yeah, no, I definitely feel like we're going to see some more Bubbles mana cost nerfed, cooldowns nerfs, sorry, buffed. So yeah, no, very good changes. I do think we'll see some more Bubbles. Probably in the mid lane, off lane still, I'm not sure. We'll see. Now, Bushwhack, a rework. So, when I read this change 2 months ago, this hero was fucking mega broken. He got nerfed since that. But they buff Bubbles when I leave. Hello, Mickey. Nice to see you. God damn it, guys. If they buffed Bubbles earlier, Mickey would have stayed. So yeah, this hero was broken as shit, but people are still telling me in Twitch chat that this hero is broken, so I'm not completely sure, but it is attack damage. I'm not sure here. Early game this ability is a lot better, of course, as you can see in the queue, because it's now static damage and not based off your attack damage anymore, so it will do more early game. So it's used more of a harass spell, and it still doesn't cost a lot of mana, so you can use it like constantly and constantly, right? Now, the interesting thing is the sidestep. The sidestep will have a 6-second cooldown, and every time you do an auto attack, it reduces your cooldown by 3 seconds. So you can basically hit, leap, hit, leap, hit, leap, hit, leap, and since your ultimate steals attack speed, you're going to be able to constantly sidestep, 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 sidestep all the freaking time. And using an ability refreshes the cooldown of this ability. So basically, every time you sidestep, you're going to crit almost twice your damage. So this is quite a heavy buff, and I'm very interested to see how good of a hero Bushwhack is now. On paper, he looks very good, and I'm excited to see how it works out. So yeah, no, the hero looks very good. I am excited to see how it is, and I'm a fan of it because I didn't like the old Bushwhack, but the only thing now is it's more like it's a carry, but it doesn't have a lot of farming ability. Like, it doesn't have a lot of like, they removed his farming ability, right? So, but you still steal damage all the time, so you can build up your damage fast enough to like get a lot of farm. So we'll see. I'm gonna be playing this hero in the next, well, it's Saturday tomorrow, so I don't play then. But I'll be playing him next week, so we'll try it out. And yes, you can now do Conquer at level 6, just like Ursa can do in Dota, so it is what it is. Now, Staff of the Master, in addition to its current effects, now removes the 25% damage penalty. So, the Chronos build with Refresher and Staff, like Keizu did back in the day, will still be viable. Nothing, like, major. Don't think Chronos will be picked because of this. Cersei got tiny buffs to her strength and intelligence as well as armor, and then Q got 20 damage increase per level, and the doppelganger can now be cast on the ground to spawn illusion of Cersei at the target location, so she doesn't have to click herself anymore, so you can click it in front of her and run it out. So I think this is a very good, like, healthy change for the hero. It won't make her OP, but will like just provide like better mechanics for the hero in general. Type people play Cersei absolutely amazing, so yeah, looking forward to see what happens with Cersei. Cthulhu Font, the worst jungler in the game right now because of Keeper getting buffed and Deadlift getting buffed. So, well, jungle speed. We're talking jungle now, not all game, but like jungle speed. He's the worst hero now of them all. Ulti now destroys trees. Applies slow with ultimate. Doesn't matter. Hero will still only be picked very rarely against parasites and Ophelias, never else. So, yeah, whatever. Now, deadlift got buffs and nerfs. Q is no longer immobilized, but it is a maximum amount of 90% slow, which is pretty crazy. But that means the full duration. And the damage was... Oh my god. Can you... Why am I getting so many phone calls right now? 1 second. Yo, let me call you back in like 30 minutes, okay? Yeah, I'm doing a patch analysis right now. Okay. No, I can't. Okay. 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 What do you need? What do you need? Ahem. So we're back. That was Garena calling me. Funnily enough, they want to talk about balance. So how appropriate, right? But we're back. I'll remove that small delay in the YouTube editor so YouTube won't feel it. But as you can see here, YouTube, remember, we had to suffer. It wasn't Waza, it was Garena. Garena and Frostburn, two different things. Anyway, so deadlift. Yeah, so W, attack speed boost on unaffected units was now increased. The damage modifier was also increased, and now forces all allied non-hero units within a 1,000 unit radius around you to attack the target. The E is now a passive, and you no longer can spawn creeps, but they have a 60-second flat lifespan. Now, the first thing I was told when this change came out was, oh, deadlift can't jungle anymore. Deadlift is shit. So, I went into a practice game. And I went into the jungle, and I was level 7 by 4 minutes and 18 seconds, which basically makes him the second fastest jungler in the game after Wildsoul. So deadlift might be too strong now, in my opinion, but I haven't played him in a real game yet, so I don't know if he's too strong. But jungle-wise, he farms way too fast. So we'll see. I'm going to try and play deadlift as well in the coming week, but from that one practice game I played, the hero jungle's way too fast now. But yeah. So ultimate no longer has 2 charges, so that's a very long cooldown. Channel duration was changed to free at all levels. And while channeling, both deadlift and targeted gravestone are revealed. So they're revealed on the minimap. Number of hits to kill gravestone reduced from 3 to 2. Oh shit. Target tombstone doubles its health during the revival process. HP Mähler heroes raised to 60 to 81%. Oh, okay. Interesting. So it got buffs and nerfs. Interesting. Very bad level 1 ulti. Yeah, But overall, I feel like the ulti got nerfed, because it's only 2 hits now to kill a gravestone, right? So, you know, I think, like, on paper, these changes look good, no longer immobilized, but it has to slow. But I do think he's farming too fast in jungle. Yeah, I'll try it out. I don't think I can comment too much on it right now. It looks interesting. We'll see. Okay, clear cutting. Duration changed to 15 seconds at all levels, and movement speed bonus per charge increase. So that's tiny buff to Deadwood as well. Didn't really need one, but it's not, doesn't make him broken, so it's fine. Next up, Defiler. Cooldown was increased from 14 to 15. Cooldown reduction in Grave Silence was increased from 1, 2, 3, 4. Number of extra spirits changed to 1, 2, 3, 4 at all levels of it. And movement speed bonus increased as well. And then ultimate number of spirits spawned decreased, as well as the total max number of spirits reduced to... so they quite a bit of nerfs here to Defiler, actually. But Defiler is a very strong hero. I've loved the hero now for a very long time, but it's hard to fit in the lineup because it's easily gankable. But the Silence is one of the best spells. Best spells in the game. So yeah, no, I don't mind nerfs to Defiler at all. It wasn't a hero that was picked all the time, but when it was picked and played well, you just pretty much yeah, pretty much ruined it. And I'm sorry, the ultimate gravestone is now 4 hits while channeling, from what I've been told. So if you're channeling, you need to hit it 4 times. Sorry about that. But yeah, so overall, I guess the ultimate got a bit of a buff then. My bad. Now, this was my favorite change regarding the patch. I said Demented Shaman and one more hero. I said Bushwhack. Demented and Bushwhack because I was intrigued by Bushwhack, and then Demented because fuck yeah. I love Demented, and we were the only team in the last year that actually make the hero worked. We picked it regularly, usually with Pandemonium, as we did in the Grand Finals versus Complexity. But yeah, I love this hero to death. So yeah, the numbers, if you want to read them, you can just pause it. I've read them many times, so long story short, your Unbreakable is now your ulti is now your W. So you can cast a small cloud, very short cooldown that either buffs your teammates or nerfs the enemy's armor, just like the ultimate before, except it's your W ability with a lot shorter cooldown, 14 seconds as you can see right here. Mana cost is quite large, however, and then Unbreakable is the same as before. The cool thing, however, is if your ultimate does not get triggered, then the cooldown gets reset, right? No, that's the one I meant, sorry. When not on cooldown or not on a target, Unbreakable remains active indefinitely on Demented Shaman. So if someone tries to gank him, his ulti is always on top of himself. So even if he doesn't use it, he can still use it on himself. And that's what I think is really cool. So, sorry, that's what I meant. Missed. It's been I read these changes like a month ago. But yeah, so no, Demented Shaman is 700 heal at max level, which is absolutely crazy. So in my opinion, Demented Shaman is a top 5 support now. I do hope to convince my teammates to pick it because the hero is absolutely crazy. Healing Wave also got an extra target here, as you can see. So very, very cool. Love this hero a lot, and I hope he gets picked. Huge buffs, top 5 support. Dr. Repulsor, probably one of the major things in this game. Dr. Repulsor has been a first pick material now for almost 2.5 years in Thailand. It's picked every goddamn game. They fixed the one problem with the hero, which was flying from base, killing half the enemy team, dying, buying back, killing half the enemy team, winning a team fight, turning the game around. Now, no longer deals damage with his ultimate, so he cannot do that anymore. He cannot fly from his tower 500 miles away and kill someone straight away because of the damage from the ultimate. But instead, he gets a lot of damage and mana from his passive, from his ultimate. So that's pretty cool. I think that's very great. And there's also, along with that, they increase the speed of the ultimate so you can get there faster, but it doesn't deal any damage. Glentor, thank you very much for subbing. Appreciate that. Welcome to Zlapped family. Appreciate your support, dude. Thank you very much. So yeah, I think it's a good change. I fucking hated Doctor because sometimes people literally won games with the hero because he two-shot your entire team by flying in, buying back, and flying in and buying back. Got 5 kills, and then you just turned the game. And I don't know how many games that happened, but it did. Like, there are so many games on my Twitch and YouTube that proves that. So I always thought that was fucking stupid. So I am happy that this was changed. Other people, not so. Michael, for example. Now, Draconis reworked again. So, if I remember what we talked about, I don't. Never mind, I'm just going to read it. Radius increased. Draconis light target. She's like for a target pillar. Okay, stone. Text I'm going to do lost target location. I don't think I have any comment on this at the moment. I think I need to play the hero. Like, Draconis has been changed so many times now, and every time he gets weirder or shittier or better, goes back and forward. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to think about this. What I do like, however, is that you no longer have to land on towers. You can fly and land anywhere on the map, so that is really good, I think. And also, you can, like you see, you can also fly to this volcano right here. But yeah, I think that's really good. I think that's a good change that he can fly anywhere, land anywhere, and not on top of the building, also next to it, land besides it, with 400 radius. So, yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's good anyway, but yeah, I don't think I can have much, can someone, like, I need to talk to my bot creator so these guys get on the time now, linking viruses all the time. But yeah, yeah, I do think it's interesting. We'll see. Yep, no, we'll see. Okay, next up, Drunken Master. Not always gets the slower regardless of drunk charges, so they basically removed the drunk charges. The slow strength was reduced a little bit, bonus attack damage was lowered, and slow duration was lowered as well. So they nerfed the Q quite a bit, but that's because he always gets the slow now and doesn't always get his E. Moved from the third ability slot to the second ability slot, bonus movement speed and attack damage was reduced as well, and then his E, which is now a passive, gains 32% chance to deal 1.5x critical strike. Upon proccing this, you gain 40% evasion for 3 seconds, and no longer gains damage reduction from dunk charges. So, Drunken has been changed to more of a carry hero, and not as much of a ganker / semi-carry, because with a lot of attack speed and a lot of damage, you'll be able to crit all the time, which will fit very well with the style they're going with now. So he's more so a rework to more of a carry, but in my opinion, he won't even be a top 10 carry. From the changes, like from reading it, I do not believe Drunken will be like a top 10 carry, so I'm not really sure what to think. I'll as well try it out, but not a huge fan of these. I like the old Drunken. I think the old Drunken was viable. People just didn't know when to pick him, and I didn't see a reason for a change. So, personal opinion, don't like it. On paper, looks interesting, carry, but not top 10 in my opinion. The magic damage from Electrician was rescaled to no longer be as broken as it was in the later levels, but it was also increased in the early levels. So, Electrician, very undervalued hero, has a lot of potential, but people don't pick it. I do think we'll see Electricians in the future, but we'll see. Type people don't like the hero. I do. I'm not drafting, so, you know, we'll see. But yeah, no. Yeah, Drunken with Rift Charge and Wingbow. Holy macaroni, man. That's going to be some fucked up shit. Elonia, one of the changes that I also looked forward to a lot. Elonia has not been picked now for a very long time. BMG picked her a while, picked her as a short lane carry, magic damage dealer, and jungled her. Will now be even easier to do that. But yeah, no. Overall, she got huge buffs here in her laning phase. The mana cost was nerfed, and the cast times was nerfed, and the ability is now superior magic, so her ulti always goes through Shrunken Heads, which makes her quite an interesting pick, and I do think she can do the short lane jungle the way BMG played her back in the days. I do think that is viable. Important to note, Staff does not go through Shrunken. That would be OP as hell. So, no, I definitely like the changes to Elonia. I think they're really good, and yeah, I'm excited to see her in the game. Emerald Warden's Q was nerfed a tiny bit. Emerald hasn't been picked for 3 years now. Hero's shit. Don't know why she got a nerf. I don't have much else to comment on. Yeah, Hero's shit. Okie dokie. Engineer's Mines were slightly nerfed, 25 damage per level, and then increased intelligence, strength, and the base damage was increased, which is one of the minor drawbacks of Engineer early game, because she doesn't have a lot of early game potential. So I do think that's decent. Empath also got buffs, but it's just number buffs, like short buffs to increase the power of all support heroes. If you haven't noticed the pattern already, you would have seen that every single support hero is getting buffs to their intelligence, to their strength, more early game damage. So they're basically buffing all kinds of early game support heroes, which I think is very good, because right now what they're trying to do as well, I don't know, I actually didn't ask this, I should have, but they're nerfing the gold in the jungle, and they're buffing all supports. More so, what I take that as is that they want to move away a little bit from the jungle meta, make other strategies viable as well, because right now, well, before the patch, jungle strategies have always, in both my opinion and Swindle's opinion, been better than non-jungle strategies, just like pretty much 9 out of 10 games. And what they're doing now is they're buffing early game supports, and then they're nerfing the jungle with the gold gain to more so move away from that and make other strategies viable as well. So I think that's a good change. I don't mind that at all. I am a jungle player, so I'm a little bit sad, of course. But overall, don't think it's bad ideas. Now, Fade got increased damage on her W, so he will be able to actually solo kill heroes again like he used to a long time ago at level 6. But Fade was already a very strong hero, now got like buffs on both W and ultimate, and the clear vision is changed to 1200 at all levels, making every level of the ultimate absolutely insane. Also 30 seconds to level 1. So Fade has been a top pick now in Thailand for 2 years, gonna continue being so. Amazing hero, even better now. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. But, yeah, here we go. Alright, so, Flint Beastwood. Attack range was increased, magic armor was decreased, and no longer gains a guaranteed proc while stealth with Deadeye, because he no longer grants stealth. Bonus attack range was increased, and the level required to outrange towers reduced from 3 to 2, and adjusted aggro range values to match his new attack range values. This change doesn't do anything. Flint Beastwood is still one of the worst carries in the game, and removing the guaranteed proc also makes him as bad of a laner as he used to be. And yeah, no, Flint won't be picked. Same shit, same old. Sorry, bad hero. Next up, damage with arrows no longer lowered when it pierces an enemy unit. Awesome. Forsaken it's an underrated hero, but not amazing. Does have potential, but still not amazing. So yeah, I think this is a good change. Tiny little bit of buff to the ultimate. I like it. As for the gauntlet changes, I think they're very healthy for the game. Increase the hook to 1100 at all levels, which I think is really cool. That means you don't have to max hook anymore if you want to play more hook-oriented with a support like you used to. And the Q also refreshes if you do not land the Q at auto attack, which I also think is amazing. Movement speed bonus also increased. Very good nerfs to Gauntlet. Buffs to Gauntlet, and I think this is good. Gives him more viability. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. As you can see, more support buffs. Grinix now. I'm a huge fan of Grinix. You guys know that. It's my best offlane hero by far. I play this hero very, very well, if I may say so myself. And now he got tons of buffs. Now, Grinix already dealt a lot of damage, but he was lacking that like tiny extra 50 to 100 damage in order to always kill someone at level 6. Almost any hero in the game that is an agility or an intelligence hero. Not strength heroes, which makes sense because they're a little bit more tanky. But yeah, almost every agility / intelligence hero died to Grinix pre-buff. But he lacked that extra 2 auto attacks. And now, they basically fixed that. Now the initial attack of the ultimate deals 100% of Grinix attack damage. And initial attack of the Shadow Knight procs Nether Strike. That means that at level 11, your ulti will basically do 300 damage on the first hit of your ult. Which is pretty crazy. So yeah. Grinix now, very, very, very strong. I mean, I love Grinix, but this is a little bit too strong in my opinion. So I do expect us to see a nerf relatively soon. Also, the fade time was reduced, allowing you to escape earlier from the offlane. So Grinix got huge buffs. Going to be an even better offlane hero now. I'm going to play it a lot. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about it. Hammerstorm got a cleaver buff. The cleaver is now really, really, really strong, allowing him to farm even faster. Maybe we'll see some carry Hammerstorms in the future. Hammerstorm has been very underrated, and he's incredibly good against heroes with a lot of physical, e.g. Pesty, Grinix, Dark Lady. Heroes like that, Hammerstorm has always been good at. Tremble in particular. Sync Esports, the old Sync Esports, not the last one, actually had a strategy that completely countered Tremble that included Hammerstorm. We only tried it twice in scrims, but goddamn, it worked. So, yeah, we'll see. Jerry Saya now got a little bit of a rework. Every 8 seconds, your next attack deals an additional 140% of your attack damage as bonus true damage. And the health integration was removed, and it's now from 100% to 60, 80, 100, so it's not really that strong early game, gets better later, and now properly applies its effects to invulnerable ally units. Duration from W was changed to 8 seconds at all levels, and now it has the slow on top of it, so it's like the E before, but it's on the W. And when the charm is cast on ally, the movement speed slow aura transfers to them until the protected charm expires. Mana cost was also increased on your Q. Overall, great changes to Jerizaya. Definitely think he could be a viable hero now, and he can actually work as a little bit of a semi-carry because of the E now. Overall, very interesting. We'll see if it works out. But yeah, no, interesting changes. Yeah, and good changes, I think. And good changes. But yeah, I did comment on the bush changes. This video will be up on YouTube, and you can hear about it. Do things very interesting, and you can also solo Conquer at level 6, so that's pretty cool. I love how Garena literally just sent me a Facebook message. Do you know Bushwhack can solo at level 6, Conquer at level 6? Don't tell anyone yet. I've gotten like 100 messages today telling me you can solo Conquer at level 6. Sorry, Garena, but everyone already knows. Keeper of the Forest. Now, this is a hero that I'm very excited about. Like I said, he's gotten quite a bit of changes. He's almost like the old Keeper, where you pushed early game with the trees, except now you have even more trees. I've tried this hero now 2 times, yesterday in a scrim and today in a TMM game. Hero is very good. It's back to his normal change, and honestly might be a little bit too strong because the ultimate is 900 radius, something I actually missed out on yesterday and today when I tried to tried to gank, I was like, oh my god, my ulti is fucking huge. I didn't even notice. So I think Keeper will definitely be picked. It's going to be a counter to Tempest players. So if people pick Tempest, Keeper is definitely a counter now, just like he used to be. And no, I think this is a great change. Keeper is very strong. Still doesn't farm as fast as a Wild Soul and Deadlift, which doesn't make him OP. So the only thing that might need a nerf in the future would be the radius of the ultimate. So yeah, no, very good changes. I'm happy to have Keeper of the Forest back in the game. So yeah. Alright, King Clout. Projectile speed increased. I don't care. Sorry guys, Clout. Great professional YouTube review. No, I really don't care about Clout. I'm sorry. Now, for the Clancy now has a passive W, so you no longer have it activatable. I commented about this in my HoN 4.0 leaks. I don't think I need to comment about it here. I do think I gave my opinion in that video. I'm pretty sure I did. If I didn't comment on below, and I'll just type my opinion there, but I'm pretty sure I commented on that change. Now, the Lords of Forest got quite a mana nerf here in level 3 and level 4, allowing him not to cast as many Qs and farm as fast early. Like I said, so Lords of Forest was like a top 4 jungler before patch, but now, like I mentioned earlier, I'm not sure if you can see Ornatorium. No, you can't really, but okay. So in my opinion right now, I think the best junglers in the game is Ophelia, Tempest, Parasite, and Keeper of the Forest and Wild Soul. Those 5 are like the top 5. Then we have Warbeast closely followed. We got Solstice, Legio, Balfagor. But Forest is like in the back now. He does still do a lot of damage, but like considering all these power buffs to heroes, I don't think he's top 5 anymore. He's still a really good laner, don't get me wrong. So Lords of Forest is still a really good laner, so he's still good there, but magic armor was decreased and mana cost increased, so yeah, no, I don't think we'll see him as much in the jungle anymore. I think we'll see him more as a laner, which is fine. Okay, so Malikan. The maximum attack speed gained was severely nerfed, and the Staff of the Master effect puts your ulti at a 14-second cooldown, which is crazy. So, wait 40 minutes to hear about Cloud and he skips it, you liar. Troll! That's going to be crazy. I'm still not sure exactly how you're going to be playing Malikan. I mean, now you can play him as an initiator with PK, to be honest. You can literally play Malikan as a buy PK into Staff Hero and just go as an initiator. You're not going to do that, but it would be pretty cool. So I do think Staff of the Master will be like a 5th or 6th item pickup. You won't pick it up early. So yeah, I would expect 5th or 6th item pickup, I think. What's your favorite changes in the game? Demented Shaman and Bushwhack, and also Alonia, I would say, is a pretty good change. Now, Master of Arms got a change again. Attack action time was reduced. Now only has 1 mode for every ability except for weapon enhancement. Target an enemy to fire out lightning pits into 2 bolts, which inflicts damage and immobilizes the main target. Deals 100 damage and applies an 80% tapering slow over 2 seconds to targets hit by the split projectiles. Acid Bomb. Lobs an acid bomb at the target location that rolls spraying acid that lowers armor, and the acid lasts for 8 seconds. Cheetah. Instead of being unable to attack when charges reach 0, Master of Arms loses the attack speed bonus granted by a Cheetah. And let's see. Activate to grant yourself a shield that absorbs 2 300 400 post mitigation damage and increases movement speed by 50. And while the shield is active, you gain unlimited ammo on Cheetah and an extra 20, 40, 60 attack damage on bulldozers. So, as I mentioned when I read this change originally, because Wasa leaked it on my stream, Moa is now, also as well as Luna, fitted more towards a carry role. He can actually be quite a heavy carry and damage dealer, I think, and might actually be viable considering the farming potential with Q and W. Mana costs are still very high, and that's what you will be using to farm. Well, yeah, no, I think these changes are good. I do expect we'll see some Moa to be tried out at least. We'll see if it actually does work out, but the hero looks very strong on paper now, and I like that you don't lose your... you just don't stop attacking anymore. You just lose your attack speed. I think it fits very good. And since they reduced the attack action time, yeah, you're no longer shit at last hitting. So I like it. Another support buff. Now Moon Queen, one of my favorite carries in the game, and a hero I played like 30 games when I originally moved to Thailand. I love this hero to death. Can now try lane again because the stun on the Q is now 1 second at all levels. Damage penalty bounce per bounce decreased, and bounce count increased by 1 hero. Night vision changed to 800 at all levels. I mentioned this. I think it's really cool because it's Moon Queen. Having extra night vision at all times, I think, fits with the concept of the hero. I think that's very cool. And max number of hits on a single target increased from 4 to 5, allowing you to solo kill targets easier. You also now gain move speed while ulting. So overall, great buffs to Moon Queen. I already thought Moon Queen was amazing before this buff, and now she's even better. So, huge fan of this. Huge fan of this. I think Moon Queen will be very strong and probably top 5 or, well, top 10 if not top 5 carry in the game, especially with the Keeper changes, because Keeper plus Moon Queen equals pretty much. I don't know what that was. Myrmidon, bonus health reduced from 240 600 to 150, 300, 450, and magic armor reduced. So that's a slight nerf to the ultimate, but a huge buff to early game. One of Myrmidon's bad things was that he didn't have a lot of early game damage, so he had a hard time pushing out off lanes. Now he has a lot of damage, which allows him to push out off lanes. So I think it's good. Ultimate on Myrmidon has always been incredibly strong, very underrated. But the problem with the hero is the low attack range and the low damage. Low damage now fixed, low attack range still the same. Hero still good and underrated in my opinion. What the fuck was that? I don't know. Okay, Nitro. Illusion's now fire when ballistic is activated. No longer grants attack speed on for all targets. Then no one less increased point. Attack damage. Let's go 40, 60, 80. I don't know. I have no comment. Honestly, I don't really know what to say about that. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to say about that, to be honest. We'll see. We'll see. I don't have a comment. I don't know. Nymphora, one of my favorite supports, one I have a lot of strategies with. Got some health changes here and good buffs. I love this hero as well and have done for a very long time. Normal buffs like every other support hero in this patch, as well as a slight buff to the mana ability so you no longer have to max it out. Like it a lot. Huge change. Good stuff. Next up. Scown, thank you very much for 4 months of subbing. I appreciate that a lot, man. Thanks for the support. Appreciate that. I have 15-second delay on stream to avoid ghosting, my friend. Okay, so Oogie talked about this. I think this is really interesting. Oogie is one of my favorite heroes personally, not in terms of power, in terms of playing. And he got quite significant buffs here. The mana drain on W was lowered. The Q got quite a significant buff here. It no longer based on the proximity to the center of the explosion, and the mat damage was increased slightly. Maximum movement speed bonus was decreased a tiny bit. But yeah, I love Oogie. I think this is great changes. He's a hero that has so much potential, very, very good, and people don't really see the full potential of it. I do hope after these changes that people will pick it up. It might be a little bit too strong, to be honest, because Oogie with Jadespire, man, is a... I'm soon going to release a new series called Top 5 Zlapped Plays of the Week, where I type... where I edit, where my editor makes a video with 5 of my best plays for the week. It's going to be uploaded this weekend, hopefully. He's waiting for his PC to come home so he can render the video. And in that video, play number 4 is me with Oogie 1v5ing the enemy team with Jadespire. So yeah, I don't know. Hero's really fucking strong already. Got the buff. We'll see. Okay, another support buff, as you can see. Pearl. Pestilence got a staff effect. I talked about this in the HoN 4.0 leaks. Very interesting. I do think we can actually see a Staff of the Master pickup. No, actually, I can guarantee you we'll see a Staff of the Master pickup. Steam Boots, Auk Bones, PK, Shrunken Staff is not a bad item now. It's actually really, really good. No, it's actually insane. That's the item build we're going to be seeing, I think. It's actually insane. So yeah, I do think we'll see that. I'm getting way too many messages today, man. Like, okay. As soon as this video is over, I gotta take a short break. So Plague Rider, a hero that has been used to be picked very often, but has long been forgotten. The damage on the Q was rescaled a tiny bit. The mana cost was increased, and the bonus area of effect damage is now doubled. So that means the Q will actually hit more people. No longer reduces attack speed. The W was reworked. I actually haven't read this change. Target area will deal damage. Oh. Airfly gives -2 and slowly pulls them back to the starting location for 4 seconds. Oh. Wait. Enemies who pull for too long or leave the air will snap the ghastly tendons of Earthblight. Is my English broken? What the fuck does that mean? Does that mean it will remove the minus armor or what? What the fuck does ghastly will snap the ghastly tendons of Earthblight? Why are they using these words in a patch notes? What the fuck does that mean? Can someone explain? I have delay on my stream. I have to wait for this answer, guys. I'm sorry, YouTube. What does that mean? Someone? Okay, meanwhile, at level 4, Extinguish can target enemy and neutral creeps. Main mana get increased from 24 to 60, 80%. So that's pretty cool. You can instantly kill neutral creep. So no one's going to answer my question. What the fuck does snap the ghastly tendons of Earthblight mean? It means they're cancelled. Okay, so it was what I thought. Like, okay. Okay, so Staff of the Master now makes the bounce count go infinite, which is pretty crazy. But before that, the max bounces has been increased from 7 to 10. So the ultimate has already been massively buffed. So the hero is already very good, and the Staff of the Master is definitely going to be a guaranteed pickup on the hero. Plague now has definitely a place in the game. We'll see if it gets picked up. And we'll see. Actually, Plague plus Jereziah used to be one of the best long lanes in the game, like a double long lane. We'll see if that comes back. Like Puppet Hole. Okay, but why the hell would you use this fucking English in patch notes, man? We'll snap the ghastly tendons. Like, what? Fuck. But yeah, no. So, staff will be picked up. But keep in mind, like, honestly, it already has 10 bounces. Like, tell me how many times will you actually bounce more than 10 times? It's just not going to happen unless you have a Flux Tempest hole. So like Biggleworth is saying here, I do think people are overrating it. 10 bounces is already really good. And I don't really think we'll see staff every game, but I do think it's a possibility to be picked up. Anyway. Voodoo Ward's cast range was increased, the mana cost was lowered, and the cooldown was decreased. I love Polywog. Play this hero quite a bit, and I do think these changes will give him a little bit more love, allow him to be a little bit more aggressive, but most importantly, use all his abilities because of the mana buffs. Problem with Poly was that all his abilities cost shit tons of mana. That has now been adjusted, and you can now actually use everything at level 6. Prophet, same thing here, everything buffed, just like every other support. Puppet Show. I covered this in my HoN 4.0 leaks. He's basically going back to his pre-nerf state. I do think that's a very good thing because, as you can see in the patch, not only have they buffed a lot of supports, they've also buffed a lot of carries. This basically follows the thing about revamping armor. Like I said, major things about this patch: revamping armor, magic armor, buffing supports, buffing carries. That's the 4 things that are happening in this game, in this patch. It's a major power patch in general. So yeah, I think this is very good. Gives Puppet back his old power level, and I do think we'll see Puppet a lot. I just drafted Puppet yesterday at 2 games, for example, which went very well, and I do think Puppet will be back to his old times. So yeah, I think it's good. How many times does it bounce beyond 6? Exactly. Like, I do think like 10 bounces is already enough. Now, one of my most hated heroes of all time is Rampage. Rampage got a rework. He's now the same way as he is in Dota. He can now charge over cliffs and tree, can walk over everything. Cooldown has been reduced, does a little bit less damage. Horn Strike's cooldown has been reduced, and his W has been reworked. It now gains him health per distance to a maximum of 240 health. And then the ulti has been reworked as well to summon a greater Rhino that will strike someone after 1 second delay, dealing damage, and throwing the target back 300 distance towards Rampage. And applying your current level of Horn Strike to them. I fucking hate this hero. And yeah, wait 1 second. So yeah, not a fan. Don't like Rampage. I really hope he's not broken. Yeah, I don't know. God damn it. Rhapsody also buffed, as you can see. Next up, we got Riptide, who's only gotten nerfs recently. We'll see. I actually haven't read these changes. I don't really know exactly what they were saying. Let's see. Mana cost, duration. Falls down last 6 seconds. Down for permanent. No longer swaps you anymore. Permanent puddle water at your feet. Max 1 permanent puddle. While on water, Riptide no longer comes showing the map. Oh. That's amazing. Mana cost decreased to 20 and cooldown. Okay. I didn't say anything. I have no idea what you guys were talking about. So yeah, no, we might see some Riptide after this. I'm not sure. He's still not as strong as a Deadwood or a Pebbles or something like that, in my opinion. And he got free armor nerfed. That's a big ass in armor change. This is really good though, that he no longer becomes shown on the minimap when he's oh, wrong one. When he is on water. I think that's really cool. So even if you have wards, if you're not actually looking on your ward, Riptide can just sweep by. I think that's a really cool change. I like it a lot. Yeah, that will be very interesting. I like the changes. I think it's good. Alright, Shell Shock. Complete rework. I don't have any comments on this yet. They more so tapered him towards Tusk from Dota. But I don't really have any comment on this yet. So I'm just going to refrain from commenting on it for now. I don't really know what to say about it. I have no opinion. Slither, another support buff. Attack damage increased on the wards to increase his pushing power and general early game ability. Now, Sir Bensington, covered this in my leaks as well. Stun duration has been increased. The E is now a passive, and you're going to use your attack tool unless regret. No, sorry, not a passive. What the hell? Sorry. What am I saying? It can now be auto-casted. That's what I meant. The E can now be auto-casted. It's now a W. The damage per charge was increased, the base damage was decreased, and the mana cost was decreased. One of the things I always mention about Sir Bensington is the fact that he's not picked is because the stun is really shit, and because the mana costs are too high. Now, the stun is good, the mana costs have been nerfed, buffed, and then his Heart Piercer also passively causes him to increase attack range, and pierce through magic armor when using it, which I think is really cool. So overall, these spells are all very good now. I think it was a very, very good change. Now, the problem is his ultimate. Up on you starts a 2-second channel at the end of when you land, after a 1-second delay. So total time is 3 seconds. Same ulti damage as before. But man, like, who will not be able to move out after 3 seconds, dude? Like, it's global, which is really cool, but who is not going to move in 3 seconds? The only way to combo this would be to... Well, actually, maybe we're underestimating the ultimate, because, I mean, Magma Stun is quite long, Behe Stun is quite long. If you ulti and then Magma Stuns after half a second, there's no way they can dodge that. So, yeah, no, I think we might be underestimating Sir Bensington. We'll see. I actually think we'll be fine. So, now, overall, I like the changes of the hero. A lot, but the ultimate I'm not so sure about. We'll see. People in temples, yeah, well that's different. So yeah, we'll see. All right, Scrap also got buffs like every other support. Soul Reaper got a slight armor increase, and the ultimate was slightly buffed at level 1, so basically nothing at all. All right. Now, here's a hero that I played quite a bit, but the hero was very bad because Soulstealer doesn't have an escape, and right now, escape heroes in mid lane and carries in general, and mobility is what's dominating the game. These changes are very good to Soulstealer, and I actually played Soulstealer yesterday in a scrim, and it was very well. We ended up winning the game very, very easily, and I personally think Soulstealer would definitely be picked after this. And the buff to the Demon Hands also allows him to 2-shot creep waves after 25 minutes, because before this patch, Demon Hands stopped working on creep waves after 25 minutes. So, I do think this change is very good for Soulstealer. His agility gain was increased, and movement speed as well, and the souls lost on death was lowered. Overall, though, I'm still not a huge fan of the ulti changes that they've made over the years, but I do think Soulstealer has a place in the game now, especially because Keeper is back in the game. Soulstealer is an amazing combo with Keeper of the Forest and heroes like that, and is good in pushing lineups, because Soulstealer is very strong early game. So I do think we'll see Soulstealer in lineups that are aimed to win before 40 minutes, but mainly before 30. So I do believe we'll see Soulstealer there. We'll see in time if I'm correct or wrong. But yeah. Succubus. Now, this change is amazing. Mana cost was decreased on the Heartache, and the cooldown was decreased, allowing her to use it for Harass more often. And then we have the ultimate now. Increases the duration from 5 to 6 seconds, but makes the ability non-channeling. This thing is crazy. The item build on Succubus will now be PK, Shrunken, and either Puzzle Box into Staff or Staff into Puzzle Box. And I think Succubus definitely has a place in the game after this change, because not having to channel is crazy. So PK Shrunken, ulti someone, and then mesmerize someone else. I think it's a great change. Definitely think Succubus will see some love. Succubus? Yeah, Succubus and Succubus. Very similar. I talked about Tarot in the HoN 4.0 leak. I think this is a very good change. Can now be cast on magic immune targets. And the bounce is now prioritize targets affected by your E. And if a unit is dies while tethered to another, the other unit is pulled towards them. So if you tether a hero towards a creep, you kill the creep, boom, stun. Very good change. Do think that's good. Now, to the hero that I've been playing quite a bit now after the buffs. Thank God we got buffs to Tempest. Tempest is now back to his good state. The impact instances to 1, 2, 3, 4. Magic damage slightly lower to, well, fit the curve more. Cast action time on Meteor lowered to almost be instant, and it can now be double activated to cast Meteor at your location. Cooldown on Tempest ulti was buffed. Cast range was increased, and the magic damage is now independent of the distance to the center, which is great. And new Staff of the Master effect. All your shit is true damage, and cast type of Glacial Blast is still magic, so you can't stun someone through Shrunken, and Meteor can now be cast while channeling, and cooldown of ulti lowered to 120 seconds. So overall, absolutely amazing Staff for Tempest. Good changes overall. Tempest is now top tier jungler again, and you will be seeing Staff of the Masters after Restoration Stone. The build is still the same, whatever boots, into PK, into Shrunken, into Resto, into Staff. Staff will not be picked before that, in my opinion. It's not worth it. Resto is always better. So, but yeah, that's my personal opinion. We'll see if that ends up being true. Magic damage from Dark Lady is back to 75 here, a tiny bit increase, and cooldown is back to pre-nerf. So, as I said, a lot of carries have gotten buffed in this patch. Dark Lady is one of them. They basically removed the nerfs they did to the hero before, put them back in their original state to make them as powerful as they once was. I like it. Every carry got buffed pretty much. I'm happy with that. No comment. Cast and cast action time reduced from 300 to 200 MS. Good healthy change for Gladiator. Nothing more than that. TB got a tiny bit of a support buff as well. Actually, no, I'm just lying. She got heavily nerfed. I thought I said increased. Oh, damn. Why would they make TB more... I don't like this. What the hell? TB is almost never picked. It's a very good hero to combo with Sunrave. Why would he get 4 nerfs? I mean, they're small nerfs, but... why would they nerf the Thunderbringer? That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand these changes at all. I don't think Thunderbringer needed any nerfs at all. It's already one of the squishiest heroes in the game. Gets absolutely butt-raped by Bomb, Chipper, Pyro, Kinesis. I can continue forever. I don't like this at all. Yeah, this doesn't make sense to me. Okay. Next up, we got Tremble. Tremble and Boris now share the cooldown Terra Mound. Bonus health regeneration has been decreased, and now shows number of mounts currently active as charges on the ability. So, a minor nerf to Tremble. Tremble's still a very strong hero here in Thailand, not very popular in any EU. Tremble is top 3 picked in Thailand, I would say, in competitive. So, I do like this minor nerf here, and I think it makes sense. It doesn't ruin the hero. It's just decent. Now, Tundra, here's one of the things what I don't understand. Like, nerfing TB and then buffing, like, the best hero in the game. Tundra has been first pick, first ban now for 2 years. He got a base damage increase, which he already has really high. He got a Q buff. And then he got a slight nerf on his bird. And then he got an E buff. Doesn't make any sense to me at all. I think Tundra, like I said, is like top 5 of the best heroes in the game now for a very long time. It's mainly because of the Shiver, but also because of his amazing laning phase and his high damage. Now he's even better. And now he's going to win his lane even better. So, personally, I don't understand why this was needed. But actually, what's the win rate with Tundra for pub players? Tundra. I think he's one of the least played heroes, isn't he? Yeah. Okay, so Tundra is actually the 8th played, like the 8th played least hero in Garena. Oh my god, 43% win. Okay, I guess that makes sense. So what exactly is his win percentage on? So he is tied with 3 other heroes as one of the worst win rates in the game. Alright, I guess that makes sense as to why they buffed him, but for competitive he didn't need anything at all, but yeah, he has a terrible win rate. But I mean, so does Magebane, and Magebane is the strongest carry in the game, and he's the second, like, has the second lowest win rate in the game. But yeah, okay. But yeah, I don't understand why Tundra would need that at all. Next up, we got Vindy nerfs. Thank God for that. Movement speed gradient, but I did tell them that I personally thought that the ultimate needed a cooldown nerf, but since they're buffing every support in the game, I guess it makes sense that they're not nerfing Vindicator yet, because they're going to be like, okay, we're buffing every support. There will be more heroes with the same power level as Vindicator. We'll see how that works out, and if Vindy is still broken, we'll nerf him. I think that's their thought process. I don't actually know. I didn't ask. But that would make sense because they are buffing every support hero. And nerfing Vindy while buffing every other support hero would be kind of stupid. But I do think Vindy is a tiny bit too strong, in my personal opinion. But yeah. So yeah, Voodoo Jester buffed as well. All four number buffs, as you can see here. Witch Layer is actually one of the few that didn't get a buff. Oh, interesting. Okay. Warbeast. The buff state no longer gives assist to Warbeast. Fuck you! One of my best heroes. Yep. Mana cost on ulti, however, has been lowered from 75 to 0 to make up for the nerf on Battlecry. So basically what this will do is it will give Warbeast a little bit less GPM because he no longer gets assist from it, and you won't have as awesome stats as you had before if you're a stat whore. So, other than that, won't make that big of a difference. Hero will still be the same. But yeah, no, I think it's good that they're nerfing his GPM a little bit, because Warbeasts are able to accumulate quite big GPM because of the assists as well. So I do think it's a good change. I don't understand why they lowered the ulti from 75 to 0 though, but I guess it's to make up for the GPM decrease. So, Wretched Hag, also one of my favorite heroes that is not being played. Attack damage has been increased to lower the threshold that Wretched Hag has always had, which is why he's a very weak laner compared to others. Do like that change a lot. Cast range on Q has been increased. And then the staff effect has been changed from magic to superior magic damage, which means your ulti goes through Shrunken Head, which now makes Hag a very, very viable pickup. So I do think we'll see Wretched Hags, and I do think we'll see Wretched Hags with Staff of the Master for sure. So Wretched Hag is now a viable pickup again. I'm not sure if we'll see him mid, short lane, or off lane. Time will tell. Very good hero for sure, though. Interesting to see what happens. Let me do later. Effect when stuff takes damage. Passive grants. Oh. Okay. So passive now. You no longer have to attack to gain the buff. Ultimate. Movement speed slow further from center. Increase magnitude change from a quadratic function to a linear function. Okay, so Typhoon has gotten a tiny bit of a buff on the slow. Okay. It doesn't say staff has magic to spread. No. The ulti is always superior magic, so your ulti always goes through Shrunken. See? So it will always go through Shrunken. The staff just lowers the cooldown. So you'll have a 40-second go through Shrunken, 730 damage ability. That's like a fucking Be ult stun W, pretty much. That goes through Shrunken. Pretty crazy. So, item balance changes. We are... Brian and Saber removed from the game. Thank you. Was a useless item. Helm of the Victim was slightly buffed here with 50 gold, and it will also reduce the cost of all other items. Homecoming Stone from 100 gold to 50. Not a fan of this at all. I do think you want to be punished if you fuck up your TPs, or like baiting people to TP and then they're forced to cancel because you're not actually ganking someone is a major deal. Like 100 gold to lose early game is like a major deal. It gets you 100 gold further away from your PK or your Shrunken or whatever, so I am not a fan of this at all. It does, however, force public players to buy TP, because now TP is even cheaper, and it will give people the idea of, oh hey, maybe I should pick up a TP, because a lot of people don't use TPs in public games. So for the game itself, it's good, but for the meta and the health of the game and the logic, I think it's very bad, because I feel like you want to be punished when you cancel your TP, and now it's one creep kill, which doesn't do anything. So I'm not a fan of that change at all. Slayer got slightly nerfed. Oh, thank God you did that, Waza! I told Waza about this 1 year ago. Now applies the effect to all of your own units, which means you can smoke with Ophelia, level 1, go past wards, get a gank. I asked about this 1 year ago, actually, and I asked about it again 6 months ago, and I asked about it again 3 months ago. Thank you for finally implementing this into the game. I think this is a great change, allows junglers with minions to sneak up on targets, and I think it's absolutely amazing. You can like buy smoke, spawn 5 minions with Balfagor, smoke them up, and run past wards and gank someone while still farming mid lane. I think it's great. I love it. Very good change to smoke, but smoke is already one of the best items in the game, and now it got buffed even more, so there's that too. Wallstone, no comment, never bought the item in my entire life. Alright. So Alchemist Bones was slightly nerfed here. Good. Alchemist Bones picked up every game. Quite annoying. 100 gold only, but either way, small buff, nerf either way. So Lightbrand and components. So basically, they've changed the Lightbrand to now do extra spell damage versus non-hero units, which will make heroes like Dampier and like Dawnbringer will be amazing on Dampier now. The extra damage will allow you to like 2-shot creep waves all the time, allow you to kill stacks very easy. I think you're going to be seeing Steam Boots into Lightbrand or Ghost Barnes into Lightbrand on Dampier now for sure. So I think this is a good change. It allows heroes like Dampier, and let's see, do we have another example? Another example of a hero that wants to... Alonia, very good. Alonia, Dampier, Oogie, if you want to farm a lot. Yeah, I think we might see it on Oogie actually. Yeah, we definitely will, because the increased spell damage, and then the slow will also help by chasing down, because Frostwolf Skull was actually a pickup regularly on Oogie, and now you can go Dawnbringer instead of Frostwolf Skull. You'll probably also see it on Dr. Repulsor, possibly. No, not Doctor, no. Also good on Lord Sulfuris now, for sure. Yeah, no, you'll see it on heroes like that uses a lot of spells to farm, and I definitely think it's a good change. Will make Lightbrand and Dawnbringer actually a good item again. Ignore again? What? The new things? What are you talking about, Kasai? But yeah, so I think that's the good change. Lightbrand / Dawnbringer is now viable again, and the best part is that it only works on creep, so it doesn't actually make the OP. Arcade. When posting, can I teleport at most 400 units away? Mimics the functionality of homostasis. Matters, destroys trees around entire life, still not summon out building. Okay, but everyone change. Okay, no comment. Plated Greaves, mana cost decrease, hero armor buff, hero increase. Oh. I already think Plated Greaves is one of the best items in the game, and also very, very underrated, so I don't really feel like Plated Greaves needed a buff, but I do welcome it, because like not a lot of people do buy Plated Greaves, and in particular, Thai people are very, very bad at buying team-oriented items like Abyssal, Bulwark, Sackstone, and Plated Greaves, so I do think this is a good change for the public in general. Does further nerf physical damage heroes, though, which you have to consider, because they did just nerf almost every hero that dies easily to magic damage further. Like a lot of strength heroes got their magic armor nerfed, and now they're buffing armor, which makes physical damage even worse, and magic damage heroes even better. So heroes that already had a lot of magic damage will do more damage now because nerfed magic armor, and then you want to pick them over physical damage heroes because armor is getting buffed, if you get what I mean. Okay, Barrier Idol, we talked about this, now makes the item amazing with pushing 600 blocked magic damage, which makes Barrier Idol another pushing item. So Barrier Idol, Plated Greaves, both of them buffed, both pushing items, both team fighting items. Very good. Like it a lot. Jade Spire, now takes a mark in the rest edition, no spell, no pestle against talent. Fuck, dude. Why would you buff Jade Spire to 6-second duration? I already think Jade Spire is an amazing item. I don't really think it needs a buff. And like they just buffed Oogie like by a lot, and now they made Jade Spire 6 seconds. Hey Oogie, you're gonna be best carry in the game. Hope you're gonna enjoy it. Pretty much, not even kidding. Sheep got slightly reduced by the range. I like that. Recipe cost on Lextalionis was buffed, so it's now an easier pickup. Bonus armor on the aura increased from 2 to 3. Good, another pushing item as well early. Mana cost reduced from 30 to 0 on Ring of Sorcery. I think that's good. Soul Trap recipe was further buffed. Cast range was increased and max number to 3. Spell Sunder debuff. So all of these, like, if I don't say it's bad, I mean it's good. It's good for the game. Like, if I'm not saying anything, I'm just going to the next change. It means it's good for the game. But yeah, so overall push is getting massively buffed, by the way. Spell Sunder damage increased from 5% to 5 plus 5% of current HP. 5 plus 3%. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Interesting. We'll see. Yeah, Mystic Vestment will now be back on the menu. Storm Spirit got a heavy nerf. I like this a lot. Storm Spirit, one of the best items in the game, both defensively and offensively. And now it has a lower range, so you actually have to be more in when you do it. And you can't hide in trees to do it. I like it. Good nerf. Okay, so Demonic also got a buff. What the fuck? And Sacrificial Stone, I covered in my HoN 4.0 leaks, also got a buff. Overall, as you guys can see, buffed supports early game, buffed carries late game, buffed items for early game push. Supports, items, push, carries, late game. Overall, this patch heavily favors early and mid game lineups, even though carries got buffed. Keep that in note. Not right now, B2D. The Bulwark is back to its original state with 4 armor instead of 3, which it had before. And recipe cost on Ultra's Heavy Plate was decreased by 200. Okie dokie, let's see here. Arclight Crown, main time for proc decreased. Not proper solutions for the 3% number of hits required to proc decrease from 5 to 4. I've never bought Arclight Crown since it came out, so I honestly can't comment on this because I wouldn't give a proper opinion that would actually be from my heart. No, but yeah. I have no comments. Will only lose health when attacking enemy heroes. Attack damage increased, so a slight... Oh! Illusions can now bash. Interesting. Oh, wait, what? Oh, damage proc. Oh, fuck. Okay, it would have been fun if they could stun. So, just a different build-up and Brutalizer and a slight damage buffs. Nothing major. Elder Parasite got a much-needed nerf. It's an item that has been picked up so much on so many heroes, and finally getting a nerf. Very good. Grimoire Power, now got 15% extra spell damage against heroes. And now grants 20% extra spell damage versus non-hero units. So, either you buy Grimoire or you buy Dawnbringer. Up to you. In Sanitarius, recipe cost was increased and health regen was increased, and health remain per second was increased. So overall, a nerf to Insanitarius. Insanitarius is one of the best items in the game. I buy it a lot. I've said a lot now. Definitely think that this is a fine change. I don't mind it at all. I guess that's all I have to say about that. Okay, Savage Mace back to its original power is now 64 damage, however, instead of 80. But it now has True Strike again. And chance to proc the bonus physical damage and stun was decreased by 2%. Bonus physical damage from a proc increased from 100 to 120. And damage proc now also propagate to illusions. So overall, I like the change. Now does less damage. You want damage, you go Rift Charge. You want to counter Wingbow, you go Savage. It's good that they separate the two, because before, Rift Charge was always better. But Savage Mace still provided a similar amount of damage and counter against Wingbow, and now they more went away from it and made Rift Charge. Rift Charge is your damage choice, and Savage Mace is your Wingbow counter. So I like that they went away from it. Cast type changed to physical, and the damage was increased slightly, and it's now perchable, and the 200 gold recipe is now removed. Spiked Ebola, like I said, I like that it exists in the game. It's not being used yet, but it will be used in the future. No particular comment. Thunderclaw, never bought it my entire life. Can't comment on it. Shieldbreaker got a much needed nerf. Shieldbreaker is picked up on pretty much every hero right now that is carry. Malakin, Tremble, Nomad, Scout, etc., etc. Very, very strong hero, and do think that that was necessary. Similar Rage was increased from 150% to 200%, and rest because was decreased. So a little bit of a buff to Similar Rage. Not really sure what I think about that. probably a little bit too strong, but it does go well with the fact that Jadespire got a massive buff as well, so both items got a huge buff, allowing carries in the late games. Like I said, there are so many changes that are good for early game and push, but there are also changes that are good for carries, like Jadespire, Symbol of Rage, and buffed carries like Mähler and Moon Queen, so we'll see how this patch plans out. It does have quite a bit of changes in general. Alright, so the Legion base and Legion jungle, I cannot comment on this yet. When they came out with the changes, I did tell them that I did not. It's back to Old Final Club? Oh, I didn't actually read. Oh, okay. Cool. Well, then we might see it again. We're probably going to see it again on the ranged heroes, I guess. Okay, so, when I originally saw this, I did tell Frostburn I did not like it, because I liked the fact that Legion and Hellborn had something different. Hellborn generally provided a tiny bit more GPM, but Legion had more GPM if you used the pull spot, so that was your thing. Legion jungle was always faster and more GPM to any jungler that actually knows this game, because I always had, Hellborn is so much easier, Hellborn provides more gold, Completely incorrect. Only pub players said that. Legion jungle provides more GPM, more experience, and is the better jungle of the two when you use this pull spot. And that's the thing, you could make strategies specifically to have heroes like Tempest and Solstice and Legionnaire to farm the free camps in Legion and gain massive amounts of gold, something you could not do in the Hellborn jungle. What they did now is they completely removed that, and now they balanced out the jungles, so they're pretty much the same. And I don't like that because I like the fact that both jungles had something unique. Hellborn had the easier, more stable part. Legion had the part where you could do more GPM and early strategies, but were forced to dual mid to leave the pull to your jungler. And I like that. And now they completely removed that. So, yeah. So far, on paper, I was not a fan of it, but I've played a couple games now, and I'm getting used to the Legion runway and stuff, so, yeah, I mean, so far I don't really have a problem with it. You skip something? Yeah, it's just mobility interaction, streamline with mobile lessons, blah, 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 blah. You can no longer be activated when you're immobilized or restrained. So, like, Bubbles can't shell serve, Lowstone can't Q, Malikin can't Q, etc., etc. So if you're deadlifted, for example, but deadlift doesn't immobilize anymore, yeah. So good changes overall to the game. Sorry, I just skipped that because I thought that was, yeah. But yeah, so, okay. The tier 1... middle entry area, previous placement, okay, so these guys, you guys are just gonna have to comment this on yourself. I personally think that changes to the game in terms of map is not, like, not welcome, but it's not welcome either. I'm more of a 50-50, not really care. But I do think it's good for the game with some freshness, with something new, with something that people will be like, oh, really? This is cool, this is cool, this is cool. So for the game, I think it's a good change, but for me, I personally don't give a fuck. I'll just play the game either way, and I'll learn the new rotations. I'll try and figure out if it's good or if it's bad. But for the coming 2 or 3 weeks, I cannot give an opinion whether or not I like it or not. So ask me again in 2 or 3 weeks if I think it's better or if I think it's worse, and I'll be able to give you a good answer. New ward spots, of course, like it a lot. One of these are in Helmet. Can you find them? They're like the most obvious ever. Yes, you can. Kongor got a new ability. You're going to have to try this out in your game yourself. I personally don't mind it at all. I think it's interesting. But and no sudden effect on Kongor is now visible. I think that's good. New Ancient Creeps. Don't really know what to think about that yet. I have only seen that Ancient Creep like twice. So, yeah, new Ancient Creeps. I mean, sure. I can welcome that. Completely fine. And then, like I said, they did nerf the jungle overall by 8%, making non-jungle lineups more viable, because buffed supports, buffed early game push items, and nerfed jungle. But jungle is, of course, still great strategies, and 8% is quite a heavy change, but not the most massive change overall. So, yeah. The following neutral creeps also had their health adjusted by quite a bit, so a tiny bit of nerfs / buffs to different kinds of creeps. Alright, so mid-wars, I do not care whatsoever, and as I said about the UI, if you actually care about the UI, the good thing is that almost everything can go back to default without any major problems at all. You just go into the settings and change it back to default. I use everything default besides the map, of course, because the map is permanent. So if you don't like the new stuff, then why the fuck would you whine about it? Just don't use it. I had so many people come into my stream yesterday. Oh, I hate the new UI. Oh, I hate that. And I'm like, dude, come on. You can just disable it. It's very simple. So yeah, but I do think it's good for the game because I do think that the hero portraits on the minimap and stuff is good. Heroes of the Storm use it, League uses it, Dota uses it, and they also use the where you can see where you're running on the minimap. And I think that's like draw minimap path. And thank you. If enabled, interface assistance. Oh, you can turn that off. Thank God. Didn't even know that. Map. Draw minimap. Oh, thank God. I hate it. But I think it's good for the game. It obviously works out in other games, so I do think it's good. And I think that is all for this patch analysis. Yes, it is. So I don't know how long that was. It felt like 1.5 hours. We might have talked about it for 1.5 hours. I have no idea. I don't care about mid-wars, but you get your increased starting gold, and you start level 3 instead of level 1, which means more action early. It's no longer slow. You don't just walk in, wait for level 3. Oh yeah, I'll take that away in a second. And it's very, very fast. To just get into the action. So I guess it's good, but like I said, I don't care personally. So yeah, overall, I do think this patch is very good for the game. I can show you the in-game shop as well before we shut this down. Here is the new... Oh yeah, I forgot mana boots. I think mana boots are good for the game. They're healthy. I'm not sure how many heroes will buy it, but I do think it's good, and I do welcome it. But I do like Play Degrees more than mana boots. So yeah, as you can see, the shop got a complete revamp. It looks really, really good now, to be honest, and I like it a lot. You can change it here, release date, hero name, ascension, alt avatars, owned, unowned. So yeah, I think the new shop looks really amazing. Definitely welcome it, and yeah, no, good shit, good shit. So I think that makes everything for this patch analysis, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed my opinions about everything on the patch. I've been talking for 1.5 hours now, so I'm going to take a short break, answer my messages on my phone, and for some reason my mom and 2 other people called me. Don't know why. Going to call them back. So I'll be back in like 5-10 minutes maybe. But yeah, so I like the new shop. I like the patch in general. I think it's good. So yeah, major things. Once again, I'll repeat it again. Revamp of magic armor and armor. Buff supports. Buff carries, buff push. 5 major points in this patch overall. Okay, thank you guys. And so for YouTube, another video will pop up right here. This is a previous video that I have made. My last video will be right there. And then you can check right here for a random video on my channel, and then you can subscribe as well on the side. So thank you very much for watching this video on YouTube or on Twitch. I appreciate that a lot. And I'll see you all in the next video on YouTube, and I'm going to go right back to my stream. And my stream is http://twitch.tv/2ec. See you guys there. Peace out, YouTube. Bye-bye.